Hey guys, this is Jared Flinn with the Bulk Loads Podcast. Got Tyler with me?
What's going on?
We're coming to you from Springfield, Missouri. I don't know why I said that, but I've always wanted to say.
It sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded like it went together. So, well, thank you all for joining us again. Got a great show that we're going to have on today. Man, I know you want to talk about this in the outro, but I guess stick around because this merchandise up here, we want to give it to you for free, and we'll talk more about it. But we just got fresh order hats in. These aren't. These are nice hats. I'll say it that way. They're not cheap hats.
Yeah.
We do that on purpose. I mean, we want people to wear them and wearing them pridefully. I get hats sometimes and I throw them in the trash.
Yeah, put them in the closet. Yeah. Don't ever see them again.
Yeah, these are real good Richardson hats. But we will talk more about that today at the end of the podcast. This show is related to insurance. I'm going to bring on Woody Waters. He is with Imagine 360. They had actually reached out to us and wanted to come on our show, which we are getting more and more people wanting to come on the Bulk Loads podcast. So some of these we have to vet. But after talking to him, I was like, man, this is a good one. And this is health insurance related. I'm not going to go into the details, but you and I both know majority. Well, I shouldn't say majority. There's a lot of companies out there, truck companies that don't have insurance, health insurance.
Yeah, and Woody was saying that I think their largest clientele is trucking companies.
Yeah.
The one that, they serve the most.
I think that's why they wanted to reach out for us. Right. They knew our network and connections. But it's amazing the amount of people that you talk to that have no health insurance whatsoever. The last podcast we did, if you remember, the Band of Brothers, which is just the last one from last week, Andy Oram doesn't have insurance. Right. And again, we just know it's a problem with our industry, and I guess society as a whole. But trying to make sure that you have the right insurance coverage. So Woody wanted to come on and talk about their company. And again, I didn't realize how big that they are into the trucking segment, and there's probably a good reason why. Yeah,
and he goes in. You can listen to it in the episode. I'll let Woody cover more on it. But yeah, according to him, you can save 20 to 30% on health insurance compared to choosing other companies just because they cater more to the trucking guys and the smaller companies that have a few guys versus the large companies.
Yeah. Woody, I wasn't able to do this with video with him. So what you'll see is I will be on the video, but Woody will not be. We're getting better and better. I think every podcast, video podcast is getting better. We're learning what to do and what not to do.
Right.
So bear with us on this one. So with that said, here's my conversation with Woody Waters of Imagine 360. Hey, Woody, thanks for jumping on with us.
Appreciate it, Jared. Happy to be here.
Yeah, well, your business, you just said that our truckers and trucking companies are one of your largest clients. So we thought it'd be super valuable to bring you on to the Bulk Loads podcast. We serve now over 8,000 trucking companies on our marketplace. So I know there's going to be some value for our truckers listening to this show. But if you don't mind, give us the elevator pitch. Who is Imagine 360?
Well, for those out there who are covered by a company health plan, and I'm speaking in really high altitude terms here, there are two ways that coverage can be delivered to the trucking company. It can be fully insured, meaning the company has bought a health insurance policy from, say, Blue Cross or United, and so the trucking company pays Blue Cross a premium. But ever how well the health plan does, if it does better than expected, that's profit for Blue Cross. And they do usually make a profit. And then the other way, if the trucking company is large enough, the company's health plan can be self-funded. So it's the same principles. You look at the people covered by the plan and their ages and their degree of health or lack thereof, and somebody forecasts how the health plan ought to run that year. But if it does better than expected, then that differential drops straight to the trucker's bottom line. And also hopefully maybe those covered by the plan are rewarded with a lower premium in the next year or something like that. And so in that latter category, our company serves only companies whose plans are self-funded. We don't work with any of the fully insured or the insurance policy covered truckers out there.
How did you, and you said the majority of your clients are customers, how did you guys fall into the trucking community as far as being the largest part of your business?
Yeah, so we have, to put that in context, we have 650 to 700 clients coast to coast, and 40 something of them are truckers. So truckers are the largest class of business for us. Going back prior to having founded this program in 2007, I was an insurance broker by trade. I sold quite a bit of liability insurance to truckers, and I will say that they are probably, as a group, the most financially savvy buyers that I ever encountered. Jared, you might be able to help me out here with reasons why. Reasons I observed are trucking might be the most competitive industry in the United States, which is a very competitive marketplace,
Yeah.
right? So, an individual driver will leave for another penny a mile. A shipper of bulk will change shippers for a couple cents a mile. And so it cascades down from there to those of us who want to sell goods and services to truckers, are put through the ringer, rightly so, the competitive ringer.
Yeah.
And so every dollar means something to a trucker. And our program is able to save 20, 25, 30% on health plan costs. And so it just kind of follows the natural course of how attentive and how highly truckers prioritize that nickel. It follows suit that our model will appeal to them.
You probably know these statistics, but when you look at the whole trucking industry, 93% of those trucking companies make up usually 5 to 6 trucking units or 5 to 6 employees.
Right.
If that other 7% are the 100+ trucks, those are your Prime, Swifts, Knights, US Expresses, all those bigger trucking companies. Does your program focus on, or does it gear towards some of these smaller, I would say, business owners, smaller trucking companies, or are you more going after the larger fleets? When I say fleets, I'm always thinking, 10 to 15, 20+ trucks.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of subjectivity out there as to how big a company needs to be self-funded. Usually that's north of 100 employees
Okay.
covered. So, so that it's not that, we would be, if there's a way in a certain spot to do an association type of plan that the smaller owner operators could participate in, we would be all ears to that and participate in setting that up. But left our own devices, Jared, because we only work with those who are self-funded, we would be going after the middle to upper end of the market.
Hi, I'm Justin. I own TB Trucking out of Marysville, Ohio. We're an ag commodity carrier. Been with bulk loads since 2021 and run hoppers, tank, looking at a belt currently, and we use them for backhauls, and they've been a great asset to us, and I think it's a great financial investment on ROI. I don't think there's anything better out there. Currently, we've been working with Zach over at Bulk Insurance, trying to get onboarded there. Can't ask for a better team of people. Everybody's been there for all of our needs, and we're just glad to be part of the team.
Talk about that, because we even, as a company, Bulk Loads, because we have this large group of carriers, and we know a lot of these companies. Well, our company, we were back in March, we were at the Mid-America Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky, and had hundreds of clients come by. But one of the truckers came by, and he'd contacted us, it was like a month prior, but one of his good friends, who's another owner-operator, came down with this serious illness. But they don't have insurance, no health coverage whatsoever. And now they're trying to raise funds to help this guy and his family. We've done some research. It seems like, and I'm just speculating here, but more of these owner operators than less don't have health coverage. There's some that they get it through a spouse or whatever, but a lot of these guys that we talk to don't have coverage.
Yeah, and I think that is an unfortunate reality. You can move beyond the trucking industry for that, Jared. And I think whether, it's a husband and wife who own a pizza parlor
Yeah.
or they own a little bar with a couple of, smaller businesses can be left out of the insurance market. Now, we do have a newer program we're in the process of launching, which the objective of that company is to target those who are without insurance or who are underinsured. And in a nutshell, I think 2/3 of the hospitals in the country are nonprofit, meaning they don't pay income and don't pay property taxes. And in a very much a layperson's term here, but in the tax code and in a swap for that nonprofit status, they're supposed to search out, seek out, and provide financial assistance to those in need in their communities, those essentially who don't have health insurance.
Hmm.
And so we're going to play that role of matching, in this case, Jared, owner operator truckers of need up with local nonprofit hospitals in their area who can provide them the care at either no charge or deeply discounted. So for those smaller owner operators, that may be a better fit, and we do have something that would be applicable.
And that's something that's rolling out right now, not live or soon to be live.
It's live. It's
Okay.
just, it literally is a startup. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great because we've even looked at it again as our company. How can we facilitate or provide or be a connector to these owner operators to get that
Right.
coverage? I know you mentioned like an association, because I know other associations do this, whether it's different unions, right? Or different
Right.
trades where they create this association where they use the mass group to get affordable health coverage.
Yeah, and I think I'm probably, much to your chagrin, Jared, flirting with being a little too much of a sales guy right now. But the trades, like your bulk loads, it is tough to get to, in this example, owner operators in mass, right? Because they are 1, 2, 4 units, 3, 4, 5 employees. It's tough to get an audience with them. But if through a trade, somebody like you, we could work with it. This program we have to try to match the nonprofit hospitals and their tax code obligations up with truckers in need. You guys may be the perfect platform.
I know geography kind of plays a role into this, right? Where you're based out of, with the plans that you're looking at. And I'll start first. A lot of our carriers are predominantly in the Midwest, from Minnesota down to Texas, from Colorado over into Indiana, a little bit of PA. That's our mass.
It's like the Mississippi River, a couple states east and a couple states
That's right.
west.
Yeah. And then from there we go southeast and then up to the northeast, as far as kind of our size and volume, and then out to the West Coast, and then even a little bit of Canada. Does the program you're talking about, does it cover those regions, or predominantly where our most dense population of carriers are?
Oh yeah, our program would be all 50 states, coast to coast. Well, I guess there are 2 states that are non-contiguous, but yeah, coast to coast.
Okay. If you can too, then, man, this is really becoming interesting to me, and I want to learn a lot more myself. Talk to us, because I want to find out kind of the step-by-step to get involved, or to get this in the hands of our trucking members. When we're talking about health coverage, what are we talking about? What are they going to be? What does this program give to them?
The newer program, right,
Yeah,
Jared?
the newer program. Yep. The one I'm talking about, owner operators.
All right. So the 3 key things, and we'll make you the owner operator for the sake of my example. You could be sitting there now, number one, and say, have a bad knee. And well, since you spend time in the saddle driving, let's say a bad lower back,
Yep.
and you could strongly suspect you may need a back procedure, or at least maybe some rehab or something like that. And you haven't had the procedure, and a big reason for that is because you're not covered.
Yep.
Um, And so you hear this, and we would help match you up with a hospital, say within a 50-mile radius of you, the most advantageous nonprofit hospital with the best financial assistance program and good quality health care. So that's service number one. You haven't had the procedure yet, right? Service number two might be you're one of the fortunate ones. Your spouse does work and she's covered by a group health plan, and so are you. And so you've had this procedure, but maybe unfortunately it comes with a $7,000 high deductible plan. And so your wife's plan paid for the procedure, it was covered, but you're sitting there with that $7,000 high deductible obligation. Same principles apply. We may be able to help you with relief on that $7,000 obligation, right? And then the third scenario would be you had the procedure somehow, so maybe it was smaller, maybe, maybe you got on a payment plan of some sorts, you got behind on it. Now there's a debt collector involved, and you've kind of thrown up your hands and say, I got out over my skis. I need some help here. So that's the third scenario. You've had the procedure. You tried to pay for it by hook or by crook. It's not working out. There's a collector, and we can help with that.
Wow. I have questions on each one of those. Talk about, let's just go ahead and then get into, okay, now I'm interested because maybe I don't have coverage or one of these scenarios.
I think that I'm jumping the gun. And by the way, I did probably 45 minutes of homework before coming on here, and you hit me with what I didn't study for.
No, that's all right.
That first category, the owner operator is at a size that's so small that right now they just can't make a health plan fit or work. I suspect in your industry, that's the biggest bucket.
Yep. By far. Yeah, by far. And then, I mean, I think I've seen some of these where they can offer these, it's not health coverage, but health benefits plans. So they can get, for $15 a month or $20 a month, they can, get certain, teledoc and all that. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is that enough coverage for them, for what they're needing?
I think that it all has to do, Jared, probably with the degree of the treatment needed.
Yeah.
So is virtual doctor visits out there for a pretty reasonable fee? Yes. Is there a prescription drug card or good RX out there that for generic medications? Yes. But going back to my example, if you have to have an examination and you may need lower back surgery, and now you need a little more help because that coverage is not within the confines of what you just described.
Yep. Yeah.
Surgery.
Yeah. Well, give us the practical steps. If someone is listening to this podcast, they are in that bucket that let's just do the back surgery one, and they want to look into your program, what do they need to do next?
I need to scrape around here and get you a phone number. The name of our new company is Upland, UPLAND, Advocacy. If you Google that, a website will come up, and I hope a 1-800 number would come up. But we may have to take a time out on the field that I can put my hands on.
No, and that's all right. And by the time this airs, like I said, Woody, we can get that information and we'll put it in the show notes of this podcast. So drivers can, a lot of times most guys can go to our episode notes and they can get all the information there. They won't need to be writing it down as they're driving down the road or listening to this podcast. So
yeah, we actually have, a few things I could send you, Jared, that will go straight to here's the help that you may need, and here's what to do if you need this help. Steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I don't have any other questions, man. I think this is right to the point, actually. I was trying to think if there's anything else around that, but I think these are just practical steps that owner-operators can take, or anybody, small businesses, if they don't have coverage or maybe there's more out-of-pocket cost or deductibles that they need help with. It seems like you guys can fill that void in each one of those.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, if you're listening, we'll get this information in the show notes. So if you're listening to this, you should be able to drop down and you'll be able to click on the link that we'll get from Woody and to provide this information. Woody, any other last final remarks you want to make just our community out there? And you've been in this industry for a while, a veteran that I would consider in the health industry. Anything else as guys are looking or having issues, or this is a pain point for them?
Yeah, you and I, Jared, kind of together went into this second area here for owner operators and smaller operations. So whether you're small, middle, or large, I think there are solutions out there for you. I think those solutions are not necessarily going to come from the name brand large insurance companies that all of us have heard of. Basically, the higher the treatment costs, the higher the insurance premiums are, and the more money those folks make. Our company is in business to save money for the trucking company and the trucker herself or himself. And so if you do your research and you're willing to think out of the box and you're willing to embrace self-help, there are solutions out there, and we think we're one of them, and we think we're extremely viable.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got. Woody, hey, thanks for coming on the Bulkloads podcast.
All right. Thank you, Jared.
Tyler, I think we covered most of it in the intro.
Yep.
I think Woody laid it out there. But again, we're going to put his contact information or their company's contact information in the show notes. So you should be able to drop down in the episode notes and reach out to them directly. But I would encourage you, I know it's a painful process with insurance, or sometimes it seems like a painful process. But man, we don't want you to be in a situation where you need coverage and don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jared, like you said, I'll put all the links. I know he couldn't think of off the top of his head some of the things that he was wanting to discuss. So all those will be in the show notes. You can see it on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can view those. But while we're talking about insurance, I just want to mention Bulk Insurance Group. Man, we've had 140 something people over the last couple of weeks. I think
it was 180 people actually. I just heard.
Yeah, they're wanting to
reach out to us.
Yeah, they're wanting more information. So we just wanted to bring it up since it's top of our mind. But yeah, if you guys are looking, I know a lot of renewals are coming up. Don't be afraid to reach out and get a quote from us. You can do it on the insurance tab on Bulk Loads through the app, or you can just go to bulkinsurancegroup.com. I know those guys are working hard. I mean, they're constantly busy working after hours. But Larry, he's leading the group over there, and he's doing a phenomenal job. But I mean, everyone's just happy with the coverage that they're getting with these markets.
And I'll say this, I have talked to a lot of people that say, hey, I'm happy with my agent. And that's great, man. If you're happy with them, stay with them. If there's ever a chance that we can earn your business or show you what we can do, we would love to earn that. So by all means, man, if you have great coverage and you're happy, don't feel guilty or obligated. But man, if you want to see if there's better opportunities out there, man, we want to prove that to you. I mean, the proof's in the pudding right now with the amount of people that we've set up. And I think I'm not boasting in what we're saying, but it's just we figured out a better way to treat you all better as clients and get you the better coverage that you deserve.
Yeah, and I know it takes a lot of work getting a quote. It's not just, typing in a few. I mean, you got to send some paperwork over and some, your old policy and stuff. I mean, it does take some time, and we know that. But we do want to point out, what's the worst that can happen? You submit all that information and we save you money. So, I mean, the more you can do to better protect your business and save some money on some premium, the better.
Yeah. So, we said it in the beginning, but tell us a little bit about these hats.
Yeah. So these hats
or more importantly, how do I get one? How do they get one?
Yes. I know you guys are watching. If you're not watching, go to the YouTube channel, see what we're talking about. We're going to give some of these hats away. How you can win a hat from us is simply by leaving a review on our podcast. To do that, you can go to Apple or Google. I don't think Spotify has an option to leave a review, but you can still leave a rating by hitting 5 stars. That really helps the show out. All you have to do that, screenshot it, and send it over to me, Tyler@bulkloads.com. Once you do that, we'll get you a hat in the mail, and we'll get sent your way.
What about if it's a YouTube listener?
If it's a YouTube listener, all you have to do is just leave a comment
Drop down in the
Yep.
comment section.
And then, we also have some of these calendars left
Yep.
over. I know
We're almost
it's-
getting halfway through the year, Tyler.
Yeah, we're getting into May. We don't have a whole lot left over, but we do have some. If you want one of those, just leave us a comment. I'll reply back, and then we can go from there. We'll get you one sent out.
And these are free. We
Yep.
will pay for the postage, everything.
Right.
So we'll drop them right in the mail for you. Also, I want to just call out. You've heard me talk about this before, but I published a couple children's books last year. You'll see one right in front of the laptop here, Semi Sam. Man, if you're ever interested, you can find them on Amazon. We do have copies here for
Yep.
free. So if you have a little one, child or grandchild, niece or nephew, that you want them to learn more about the trucking industry, that was the one reason why I created this. Get a hold of us and we can get one of those in your home. I will be happy to even personally sign it and address it to your little ones. So contact us on that one as well.
Awesome.
So awesome. Well, thank you as always for listening to the Bulk Loads podcast, and God bless.